So let's move on with intersystem conversion. So intersystem conversion allows us to move from one unit into the other. So there are lots of problems concerning this. So here are some useful equivalents, which you should again memorize. But the most common, I must say, would be the kilogram to pound. 1 kilogram is equal to 2.2 pounds. Sometimes this is also important. 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. And in volume, you should memorize all of this. Okay. Basta memorize nyo lahat. Okay. Okay, so here is another table. And again, memorize, memorize, memorize. But of course, you should only pick or select what you need to memorize because you can simply convert them. Okay. Okay, so here's an example. So convert this and this to over the Paul weight. So if you can recall, these are in or from the apothecary system. So we have 2 ounces and 2 drams. So II means 2. So what we need to do is first convert them into a unit that is both found in the apothecary and the avoirdupois system, and that would be grain. So in this table, you can see that 1 dram is equal to 60 grains, and 1 ounce is equal to 480 grains. So we multiply those by 2, so we'll arrive with 960 grams plus 120 grains, arriving with 1080 grains. Next is to use the conversion factor of 1 ounce is equal to 437.5 grains, and the answer is 2 ounces and 205 grains. So here is a series of conversion problems. So if you memorize the conversion factors, this would be easy. So let's have this first example. A medicinal plaster measures 4.5 inches by 6.5 inches. What are its dimensions in centimeters? So, assuming 3-figure precision in the measurement, so 4.5 is equal to 4.50 or 4.5, and 6.5 is equal to 6.50. So, in the part of fractions and decimals, we have stated that it is better to use decimals rather than fractions, right? So we have this. So we have 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. So since this is in inches, you can simply multiply the given and the conversion factor, and we will arrive with 11.4 centimeters and 16.5 centimeters. Okay, so try these two. So you can take a peek at your conversion factors. Another topic on measurements is temperature. So here is the formula in converting Fahrenheit to Celsius and Celsius to Fahrenheit. So Fahrenheit is equal to 9/5 Celsius plus 32, and Celsius equal to Fahrenheit minus 32 times 5/9. So here are examples. So we convert 26 Celsius to Fahrenheit. So since Fahrenheit is equal to 9/5 Celsius, so we have 9 times 26 divided by 5 plus 32 is equal to 78.8 degrees Fahrenheit. And if we convert 98.6 Fahrenheit to Celsius, we'll have 98.6 minus 32 times 5/9 is equal to 37. So that's it. Practice. Alcohol proof strength. So proof spirit is an aqueous solution containing 50% volume per volume of absolute alcohol or 100% volume per volume ethyl alcohol. So alcohols with other percentages are said to be above proof or below proof, depending on whether they contain more or less than 50% volume per volume of absolute alcohol. Proof strength is twice the percentage strength of alcohol, and thus 50% volume per volume alcohol is 100 proof. So take note, so proof strength is twice the percentage strength. So alcohol for manufacturing use may be purchased by the proof gallon. So a proof gallon is a gallon by measure of proof spirit, that is a gallon of 100 proof or 50% volume in volume absolute alcohol. So here is the formula in computing for proof gallons. So proof gallons is equal to gallons times percentage strength of solution over 50%. While if you use proof strength, you should multiply gallons times proof strength over 100 proof. Okay, so as example, how many proof gallons are contained in 5 gallons of 75% volume in volume alcohol? So using the first equation, 1 proof gallon is equal to 1 gallon of 50% volume in volume strength. So we will have 5 gallons times 75% divided by 50%. So we will cancel percent and percent. So we will have 7.5 proof gallons. For the second equation, we should first take note that the proof strength is equal to twice the percentage strength. So 75% times 2 is equal to 150 proof. So we will have 5 gallons times 150 proof over 100 proof. We will cancel like units and we will have 7.5 proof gallons as well. So take note that you may use either of the equations as long as the units are properly assigned. So for gallons, it is just the same with proof gallons. Okay, so you should try to answer the problems on your own. So we are now at this part, interpretation of prescriptions and medication orders. So first of all, what is a prescription? So a prescription is not just a piece of paper. It is an order for medication issued by a physician, dentist, or other properly licensed medical practitioner. So it designates a specific medication in order to be prepared by a pharmacist and administered to a patient. Okay, so it has many parts which we will discuss later. So whilst medication orders are those that are used in hospitals and other institutions. So there are types of prescription and types of medication order. So a prescription may be a prescription not requiring compounding or a prescription requiring compounding. So compounding involves the preparation of medication based on the prescription for a specific patient. Okay, so while medication orders can be in the form of orders written in the chart, verbal orders, stat orders, PRN orders, or standing orders. As I said, a prescription has many parts. It includes number 1, the prescriber information and signature. Number 2, the patient information. Number 3, the date the prescription was written. Number 4, the RX symbol, or what we also call the superscription. So it means take thou, you take, or recipe. Number 5, the prescription also includes the medication required, the dosage strength, and the amounts of each. So this part is also known as the inscription. While number 6, the subscription, is the dispensing instructions to the pharmacist. Number 7, directions to the patient, the signa. And number 8, special instructions. So take note of the differences between superscription, inscription, and subscription, as it is where most students have a hard time remembering. Okay? So, in the Philippines, there is a law describing a legal way of writing drug names in a prescription. It is known as the Generics Act. So, only licensed doctors, dentists, and veterinarians can prescribe. So, sadly, pharmacists in the Philippines cannot prescribe medicines. So, the Generics Act promotes generic dispensing. So, a prescription should include the generic name. So this is the official, scientifically recognized medical name or non-proprietary name of a specific active ingredient, while the brand name is the trade name created and marketed by specific drug companies. So I'm sure that you know the difference between the two. So the generic name must always be included, while the brand name is optional and must always be written in such a way that it is not favored over the generic name. So between the two, the generic name should prevail. So there are three types of incorrect prescriptions: erroneous, violative, and impossible. So listed are those situations that may be considered as incorrect in terms of writing prescriptions. The following slides will contain tables listed under different categories containing the common abbreviations, acronyms, and symbols used in writing prescriptions. So, contrary to popular belief, pharmacists were not taught how to read doctors' penmanships, right? We are only able to do so because we are familiar with their methods of writing. So, using the knowledge that we have on medicines and other factors, we are able to read their penmanships. Drug names, indications, strengths, dosage forms, compounding, measures, routes of administration, frequency, and others.